President Biden has said he hopes Iran will back down on its threats to retaliate against Israel after an Israeli strike killed a senior Hamas leader in Iran earlier this week. Fears of an escalation in the conflict are mounting after Hezbollah launched dozens of rockets from Lebanon into Israel last night, most of which were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome. Joining me now is Yotam Confino, Israel correspondent for The Telegraph, reporting from just north of Tel Aviv. Yotam, hello, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Henry.
Now, there's talk of Hezbollah launching something like 50 or so rockets from Lebanon. This could be the start of something really big.
It could, but this is not what we're waiting for. This is not the attack that Hezbollah has warned Israel about. What we're expecting from, especially from Hezbollah, but also from Iran, is something bigger, because those 50 rockets might sound like a lot, which it is, but it's actually something they do on an almost daily basis. So this is not the attack we're waiting for. And as you said, Joe Biden also himself said that he doesn't know if this pressure on Iran will actually help. I don't think so. It looks like Iran has made up its mind. It will attack Israel. But we're all still waiting for which kind of attack. They have a number of options available, such as hitting Israel directly, like they did in April. They could use their proxies to attack Israel, but they could also go after Israelis and embassies abroad, which is a third option.
But all the while, they're going to be calculating and considering how far they can go, just as Israel regularly does. And it felt that it could hit a senior commander in Damascus, hitting an embassy, which normally is out of bounds. They've hit Ismail Haniyeh, a very, very senior figure in Hamas, on Iranian soil, calculating that perhaps Iran and its proxies won't come back all guns blazing. But you never know, do you?
You don't. And I would say this is a very dangerous game that everyone has been playing for the past 10 months. But again, going back to the beginning, it's Iran, Hezbollah, the Houthi rebels, Hamas Islamic Jihad, and other militants in Syria and Iraq that are attacking Israel. And Israel is responding to all of this. That being said, Israel could also up the attacks and drag the whole region into a war. But who started all of this it is of course Hamas, but it's also Iran, and especially Hezbollah, which is firing on Israel on a daily basis, almost 7,000 rockets, anti-tank missiles, and drones since October the 8th.
Indeed, but that's not how they see it, because of course they don't say that this started on October the 7th. They say this started so many years ago, back in the 1940s. To what extent is that framing of this conflict completely absent now in Israel because October the 7th was such a horrible massacre?
First of all, Israelis don't see this as they don't see Hezbollah or Iran or the Houthi rebels or any other actor attacking them as having the right to do so because of the Palestinians. Israel sees the Palestinian conflict as a separate issue. They don't think that Hezbollah can get away with saying, well, we're just attacking in solidarity with Hamas. So Israel is punishing all of those actors, regardless of what's happening in Gaza. But all of those things are linked very closely, of course, because as Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, has said many times before, the minute there's a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, they will stop attacking Israel in the north. So this could all be solved tomorrow if there is a ceasefire, but it looks like there won't be. In fact, we're hearing more and more depressing news coming both from Hamas and from the Israeli side about how these negotiations are really stuck.
Yotam, thank you very much indeed for joining us. And Yotam Confino is Israel correspondent for The Telegraph. And meanwhile, the UK, US, and several other Western governments are urging its citizens, or their citizens, to leave Lebanon amid the spiraling conflict. But not everybody is heeding the advice. Renee Golson is a Lebanese-American attorney who is staying with family in Lebanon. Renee, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why are you not heeding these warnings?
It's honestly hard to heed warnings where it's just you leaving and you're leaving behind family and friends who kind of have no escape route out. So, you want to stay central. You want to stay put until actual events start happening. Being someone who kind of grew up in the region, we are always being told to leave at any given moment. So, the boy who cried wolf, and we'll see. So far, all the attacks have been pretty targeted to one local region. I'm staying in the mountains. I know a bunch of my friends are staying in the mountains as well. So you don't want to leave family and friends behind. You also don't trust what you're being told. It's a lot of information coming in and a lot of go, leave, it's happening now. And that's been the narrative kind of for the last 31 years.
Wow. It's interesting you say the boy who cried wolf and you don't trust all the information you're getting, but this is coming from the US government. You're a Lebanese American, you're an attorney. This is your government saying we cannot keep you safe.
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciate the warning, and I appreciate like the U.S. government reaching out. But it's this is not the first time they've sent a warning. Even like my issues that don't relate to Israel, issues that relate to kind of different events that have happened. We've always been told, don't fly. It's fly at your own risk. Now they've escalated it to level 4, which I haven't really seen before. But at the same time, the US government, unless they're privy to something that we don't know, we're following up with local news and international news and kind of everything. And there doesn't seem to be an imminent threat to civilians at this time. Even in Beirut, it seems like it's all targeted. So they're saying leave, but they're not really giving us any information as to what they expect is coming. So it's kind of hard to make that decision and leave everyone behind based on no real facts behind the matter.
Yeah. And Renee, what about the politics? You heard Yotam Confino, the Telegraph correspondent, saying Israelis and the Israeli government do not link what's happening, the conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon, with the issue with the Palestinians in Gaza. What do the Lebanese people you talk to say about that? How close do they feel? How closely connected do they feel to the people in Gaza? How closely would they ally the various conflicts?
100%. So that's kind of a threefold question. It depends on who you ask in the
Yeah.
region. There's going to be the first perspective, which is we fight one with Palestine and Hezbollah is defending the people of Gaza. Therefore, we must fight with them. Then you have perspective number 2, where we feel like the South is being attacked, Lebanon's being attacked, and therefore Hezbollah must defend Lebanon, but they're not really fighting for the Palestinian cause, more so fighting to protect our border because they're scared. Okay, they've taken Gaza. What's stopping them from taking Beirut? And then you have the third perspective, which is this is a war we did not sign up to enter. This is a war we don't want to enter. And while our hearts go out to the Palestinian people, we don't want to bring the corpses to our shore. So it depends on who you ask, but those are the 3 going perspectives of people in the region. I mean, me personally, yeah, pro peace. You want to see peace in the region. You want to see prosperity, and everyone's doomed if this escalates any further. Whether it's Israelis, Lebanese, Palestinian, you just need very strong leadership at this time, and very people who know how to negotiate and people who can negotiate. And unfortunately, leadership around the globe does not seem to represent this at this time.
And what about the leadership in your own country? And you can answer this how you want, but from the outside, it looks as though the government in Lebanon is struggling, has done for quite a number of years. All kinds of allegations of corruption, inability to actually run the country properly, and then being a stooge of Iran under pressure from Hezbollah. How safe, how secure do you feel as a Lebanese American in a country where the government seems so weak?
So yeah, it's definitely an issue. Today is actually the anniversary of the August 4th explosion, probably one of the biggest tragedies that's ever happened in Lebanon beyond war. And that was quote unquote a mistake, an accident, an oversight. So you have something like that, which really killed so many Lebanese people and affected so many Lebanese people, whether it's them never wanting to come back, or children who died, parents who died. So you have an event like that, which you can really chalk up to corruption and a weak government and a government that's playing every side. So then it's like hard to blame what's happening now, and then you blame it on Israel. It's like, but we have our own issues internally. So I don't feel protected by the Lebanese government. I feel that the Lebanese government they don't have really any power right now. The real power lies with Hezbollah. Do I feel protected by them either? No, I think that they are a proxy of Iran, and they are working not for the benefit of the Lebanese people. So at this point, you have to get very tribal, and you have to stick to your local community. And I feel safe, protected by my local community here in the mountains.